Everybody ready? Management? Everybody?
Anyway, I'll let you know on Saturday whether or not they take personal checks.
The what?
Personal checks.
Should we?
I think I'll get one.
So Marcelo's gonna. Guys ready? All right. I'm on the air already?
Yep. Scott is online.
All right. Good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. First and foremost, I want to thank the people that made it out today for coming out and spending some time with us and learning about the community. It is right now 7:03 p.m. Calling the meeting to order. We have established quorum. We have 4 of the 7 board members present, and we have 1 member, Scott Monahan, on virtually. And I believe that Marcelo is going to be coming in soon.
Yeah, he said he was going to be about 5 minutes late.
So proof of notice was placed on November 28th at 1722 in the clubhouse and in the front gate. Okay, we'll move on to owner comments on the agenda. If there are any homeowners that want to say anything about the agenda today, you have 3 minutes. You like? Nobody? Going once? Yes, ma'am.
How come you guys decide to do the roofs at Christmas time? So that means they have to take down the Christmas decorations from outside?
So that's a good question, and I agree with you. We don't decide that. You know, the landscaper does all this work between November and February. I guess they've been doing it around this time all the time. But that's something that I think that we could take back to landscaping and kind of ask them that maybe wait till after the holidays to do it.
Talking about the roofs.
Oh, you're talking about the roofs? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We just got authorization to do it from the lawyer that's doing the lawsuit. That's why.
And then everybody was waiting for it, you know, and.
After Christmas?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that there is as well, we're currently under a lawsuit, so we have to buy and the time.
Yeah, but people already put up the Christmas lights, what she said.
So the quicker we get it, the quicker they can do it, and it doesn't delay or drag the lawsuit.
Maybe you could ask that question to DPW. Is that gonna affect?
And hopefully this is gonna be like a one-time thing that we're only doing things during this particular time, because we totally understand how the holiday decorations in the future, this shouldn't happen, however, again, we have more on the time crunch and time.
You might want to send a message out because some of my neighbors are still putting up, they didn't realize.
We've sent
We
a
sent
couple of
it.
email blasts already.
Bond. Maybe your neighbors, yeah. Renters, oh,
So they will get that.
yeah.
Email will send that.
Is there a paper copy being sent out on that, or is it going to be email blast only?
Did we put it on the website? Because renters have access to the website,
Yeah.
Unless they're registered. Yeah.
but they have to register. I mean,
Yeah. So I would suggest, you know, like, I know a lot of homeowners use social media, like the Facebook. I think the renters want to, a lot of people put information there concerning all those, you know, like cleaning. And sometimes they can know from there, you know, if they don't get the notification from their landlord.
thank you.
Anyone on online needs to speak about the agenda items?
You can raise your hand.
No.
All right, we're gonna move on then. We're gonna move on to acceptance of the meeting minutes. The first set of meeting minutes we have is from October 19th member meeting, which was our election. Did everybody get a chance to review them? Any discussion on the matter?
So the members meeting, we have some issues, right? That's the first.
That's the
six.
second one, starting on
Yeah.
page 8 of the packet.
Yeah, they switched it on.
Yeah, and this one is switch again.
Yeah.
So on the members meeting that it says established quorum, you know, all that, that's all good. It's under the approval minutes, Herman made a motion to approve. That was on the board meeting, not on the members meeting. So that has to be deleted from there completely.
That's the 1.1, right?
Yeah, 1-1. And then on the board meeting minutes, that same, acceptance of the minutes, it said Herman made a motion to approve the amended minute, and then Marcelo seconded, and it says, oh, that one is fixed already, okay. Yep. It was the previous one.
So I do have a question going back to that for the special meeting, which is the annual membership meeting, because the membership meetings, we approve of membership meetings. Are you guys not approving of any meetings? Because this was approval of the first special meeting. Is that not correct?
I thought we approved the special assessment meetings at the last
There it
meeting,
is on- Okay, so just remember
because it was
that.
in September, we did it in October.
Perfect, so just remember that whole section, number 1. Thank you.
Right? Am I right about that? Double check me, guys.
What, we talking about, the same thing?
No, she's asking the special assessment one, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was approved on the,
previous meeting.
correct, no, but it was on the same meeting, but on the board meeting.
Right, so.
Correct, but membership meetings need to be approved at membership meetings, it cannot be approved in board meetings.
Okay.
So we can't approve the minutes until we have another membership meeting?
Correct.
Yeah,
So do we approve those? Because I don't remember.
membership meeting minutes are typically approved at that membership meeting. So it just, if you have the draft there, just make sure the draft is right, and then it'll just go on the agenda for the next.
Okay.
Still, I mean, the draft still needs to be fixed, like.
But I know it was presented last meeting, and I thought we voted on it, but I guess we have to
Well,
notify.
listen, even if we did, you still present it again at the next
Okay.
meeting.
So just make sure you keep it.
Gotcha, gotcha.
That I didn't know, I mean, that's news to me.
So membership meetings, when the memberships are allowed to vote, meaning any special meeting, any annual meeting, anything that the memberships can vote on have to be voted or approved on at a membership meeting itself. So again, we put that in here again, and I know we discussed it, that's why it's in here,
Gotcha.
okay? So I would highly suggest you leave it in here, that way it's in the membership meeting minutes, period. Even though it's in the other ones, we can ratify the other ones for you guys.
Okay.
Okay?
So I have signed minutes from the special minutes meeting. So I want to make sure that that's.
Okay, so we gotta ratify it at the next membership meeting.
Okay, so the October 19th, we ratify in the next. Gotcha.
So we're not voting on this one then.
Nope.
We move on to the board meeting minutes then.
Correct. Thank you.
Okay, and number 2, you said was fixed already?
Yep.
Okay, any discussion on the board meeting minutes?
This is the one that starts on page 4.
Yeah.
I do have a correction on 8 alpha. This is, the motion passed unanimously, and the vote was a 4-1. 4-4, the motion.
Which vote is that, you said, I'm sorry?
The irrigation.
8 alpha, which would be the irrigation proposal from J&L for Via Otero.
And who abstained on that?
There was no abstention, it was against, and that was me.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so correct that, then, just wanna make sure we get it right.
Was that the only changes?
That's the only one I have.
So can we make a motion to approve with the updates, and we'll provide you the updates?
Scott, you got anything?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, so no more further discussion then, I need a motion to approve board meeting minutes from October 19th
It's amended. I made that motion.
as amended. Anybody second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed?
Aye.
No, okay. We have 5 ayes, right? All right, then we move on. That's my next question. The closed meeting, we have to approve those minutes?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna approve the minutes for the November 8th legal closed board meeting. You guys have a chance to review that? Any discussion?
Nope, no discussion on my end.
All right, no discussion. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes for the November 8th?
Motion to approve the November 8th closed board meeting minutes as stated.
Can I get a second?
I second the motion.
All right, All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, passes unanimously. All right, managers report.
All right, so, good evening, everyone. So we have an operating cash of $434,438.22. I know that, the special assessment and the amount that we have is a very particular subject that I wanted to give you an update on. Right now, we received $100,694.04 out of $374,305.66. So we're about, almost like 25% of what we need for the special assessment. It's about 20%.
20%. Okay, is that it?
And, that's it.
Okay. Legal counsel?
I've got 12 properties that are still on our AR report for this month. We filed 14 back in,
So 2 of them are off?
2 of them are off. I've got another 13 that we're teeing up to file liens on those, so I'll be getting updated ledgers from Artemis, and we'll get intent to liens out on those. And then come January, whenever you guys want to start talking about what we're gonna do with the liens that are filed at that point. I know you had asked me to update the collections policy, which I sent over. You guys got it, right?
You guys have a chance to look at that yet or no?
So, just take a look at that language, see if you're comfortable with it. If not, it's an easy fix. I can bang that out real quick. And then, it's really it for collections. If you look at the ones that are our top offenders, we've got liens on all but like 2 of them, and it's like $50K of our outstanding collectibles for our minimal assessment. So it's quite a chunk, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like 80% of the entire AR, so.
Right, so, I know we were kind of hesitant to do anything during the holidays, but right after the holidays, if you guys want to chat about it, we can get some details. And what we'll do is we'll pull updated ledgers again, see who's making payments, see if anybody asks for a payment plan, and we'll get all that updated before you make a decision on whether or not we're going to do any foreclosure stuff like that.
Okay. So, I don't know if you guys had a chance to read the amended collection policy, but I don't think we're in any rush to make any decisions on that. If you guys want to table it till next month, we could do that, so we get the chance to look at it and work out the jargon, or whatever you guys decide.
So now that we're talking about the collection, do you think I know the next meeting, when is it? At the end of January.
January.
So can we do, instead of delaying, do a motion to prepare legal to start, doing the next step, but until then, so he got already.
I don't know if that's gonna be productive, or what do you
No.
think? Is it worth it? I mean, I don't.
I'm
think
just
it's
saying.
worth it, but-
Well, if you tell me to go ahead and start prepping paperwork, I'm going to charge all these people legally.
Correct.
So if that's the intent, that's up to you guys, though. If you.
I'm just saying, but obviously, yeah, like
I
January.
could wait until January to do it, but there would not be another opportunity between now and your next meeting then to discuss whether or not you want me to still do that. So if you tell me to go ahead and do it, come January, I'm just going to do it.
Chris, I don't think the board has like any issue with doing it. It was just delaying it until after even the beginning of the new year, because I think it's just even in my head, like foreclosing on someone's house like during the Christmas holidays makes my heart shrink. And
No, I completely get that. But did you want to have another opportunity, like pull an updated ledger and be like, no, this guy's been making payments?
I want that opportunity in January. I really did that.
Yeah, for that reason I say January, when I say it, because our meetings is always at the end, so you got the 15th to get the layers,
So you want to vote to approve them now, and then we can do a legal meeting between now
So
and then?
is the only one that you amended here number 8, or is there other
Yeah,
changes?
that was the only paragraph that really changed.
What happened?
No, that we were.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only paragraph that really changed, and that was to build in that time buffer that you guys were talking about.
Okay.
Discussion, so.
I mean, if that's the only change, I haven't had time to read the whole thing, but if that's the only change, I'm okay with it. I'm ready to vote if it makes a difference. I can wait till January too, so it doesn't matter.
So anyway, so we don't get confused. He was talking about
Okay.
the collection
No, that's
policy,
fine.
yeah.
But
No,
even
no.
if we vote.
No, we
if
were
did
talking
decide to
about
vote on the
moving
foreclosures,
forward
I think
with the
we should still
liens
do it
on
with the
January.
Until, but I tend to agree with Corey that maybe we might want to go ahead and vote on that on the 30th of January. That way you've got time to go ahead and get the updated ledgers. Make sure that nobody else is going to try to, make amends before it happens, and this will just be the final check. And then we're just going to be based on the procedures on the financial documents after they
Well,
go.
let's just do this, and let's just wait until January.
So then we wait until the next meeting, the 25th.
I mean, but you're talking about a difference of a week.
Yeah, it's not great, not
Yeah.
great.
And it'll give you another opportunity to really, like, pull an AR report, let's pull ledgers, see who's making an effort to get current. Because, depending on what they're doing and what their payment pattern's been like, maybe we want to cut them some slack and say, hey, we're going to give you an opportunity to get caught up before we start whacking the legal fees. So I don't know. And maybe that turns out to be nobody, I don't know. But it would give us another opportunity to look at it before we start going down that road, so.
I like that opportunity, man. I'd like to take each individual case by case, look at those ledgers.
Okay.
Look for patterns, positive patterns.
As of now, I don't see any payment made, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of the guys that are on our top, we'll call it the top 10
It's
list.
been like I'm
They
under
haven't been
120
making- They
days.
haven't been making
Yeah.
payments for months, so it's not likely that's going to change between now and January, but
More or less, it's not just the payments, they're not even making an effort to
Correct.
figure this out. That's what I
Yeah.
feel.
no, and they probably won't between now and January anyway.
Yeah.
But, at least we can tell them that, like,
No,
look, we
I
gave you
agree.
every opportunity to.
Yeah. But anyway, my question was, is only if he was able to do it, like if the board was able to give you just, because in the future, let's say we don't meet in 2 months, we can then give you,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. Sounds good.
And how long does it take you, Chris, to go through that paperwork? What does it look like for you on your end?
So the first thing that's gonna have to happen is the intent to foreclose. That's a 45-day wait period.
Right.
In that 45-day wait period, if they don't get caught up, I'm drafting the complaint, I'm drafting the service of process. We're starting to pull together, like, for instance, the initial payment for filing with the clerk of court, getting all that stuff put together. I usually send an unofficial service to their registered agent if they're like an investment company or something. So like the last time I did this, I had a batch of like 15 of them, and 14 of them were owned by out-of-state rental companies, like American Homes for Rent, like the big ones. And I couldn't get anybody on the phone, so I sent a copy, like an actual complaint, to their registered agent in Tallahassee, and I said, you've got 10 days, or I'm taking this to the courthouse, and wouldn't you know, the checks started coming in. So I usually take an opportunity to do that and see if we can get that last-ditch collection piece before we actually have to spend the money, file the paperwork with the clerk.
That would have been my other question is do we even have an idea of how many of these are actually live-in or if it's a commercial rental
I
property?
mean, some of these are in the name of an LLC, so you could ponder a guess that it's probably a rental company.
Yeah.
But, that's not necessarily true. I mean, it could be owner occupied, and the guy just decided to put it in a corporation.
There's no legal issue with that though, right?
No.
So you give different treatment to corporations than you give to owners that live in their house?
It doesn't change the procedure, whether it's an investment property or a homestead. Doesn't matter.
How long does that take you to get that first letter?
The intended foreclosure, you have
Yeah,
to
that's
go.
a foreclosure.
And, I mean, I can usually bang them out in an afternoon. I mean, it's a full afternoon, but I could do it. With 13 accounts, yeah, I can do that.
So it's not, we're not asking you to do a week's worth of work.
No. I mean, it's usually a full day because it's multiple copies of that, but it's not so over the top that it's not doable.
Just want to make sure we're setting expectation.
All right, so I think, Mario, you were saying that you wanted to vote to adopt the amendment to the collection.
Yeah, the collection policy, adding the number 8, the authorization,
Okay.
yeah.
I think Corey said he wanted to table it too, right?
No, I'm okay with it.
No,
He wanted to table the voting on the
The
foreclosures.
voting for foreclosure, for the reason I said to stop because it get confusing, yeah. So we're not gonna move forward with the foreclosure yet.
I think we started talking about the policy and then this turned into something else. That's why I got lost.
So
I
I
understand what's going on.
So as far as I know, the only motion that's on the table is whether or not you're gonna adopt the amended
Correct.
Well, there's no motion yet, right? We're gonna do a motion.
We're
now.
gonna-
I'm gonna motion
Oh, you
to
motioning
adopt the amended policy.
I second the motion.
Okay, Jason made the motion, second by Herman. All in favor, say aye. Right.
Aye.
All right, unanimously.
So we need to get a hard copy for you to sign and send over to Artis then. I didn't flip on that.
You can do it in the morning.
Yeah.
Actually. And, all right, so that's it on legal, anything else you want?
Unless you guys have any other questions of me.
We'll have more questions later, for sure.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
All right. Treasurer, any updates on any financials? Okay, secretary?
No, nothing major. We had a couple properties change and not seeing that at the moment. We have a couple of properties change hands, so last month, their last meeting. But other than that, I don't have anything to report.
Okay, thank you. I had a question on that. From the time the special assessment was voted on, how long does it take for you guys to have put that on the ledgers?
Well, as soon as we got back to the office, we let them know that it was, put or approved by the board.
Okay,
They worked on the coupons, yeah, we worked very quickly to mail those out, to be notified, so it's put on your.
okay. I was trying to find out, there's a lot of houses being sold, and I'm just wondering if they changed hands before that special assessment was taken care of. And the new owner might be surprised by that.
It should have been caught on the
That should have been.
It's gonna be on the estoppel.
Or the seller's gonna get a lawsuit smacked on them.
Title insurance type thing, right?
There's no way you can verify that, to make sure that all the houses that were sold after that vote had an estoppel that reflected it, and it's been collected? Thank you. All right, committee reports, ARC?
At our meeting on the 21st, and got minutes in. I sent you a copy.
Yeah.
They have sent you guys copies as well. Approved a number of things. We had a couple of odd items in there that were not approved, one is incomplete. We had a application for 3051 Menorca Court that had to do with pavers. They sent an example picture of a house that I believe is 3023 Sangria. Essentially, that house is paved in their entire front yard. And that's what they're wanting to do, pavers. And we didn't really vote on that. We would like them to come in and explain, like call them to the meeting, so that they can explain what is going on there, why they're wanting to cover the majority of the yard. As far as the house at 3023 Sangria, to the best of my recollection, I've never seen that, never approved anything for that. So this is for council, Chris. That might be something that we have to discuss with the owner and request them to restore it to the status quo ante, remove the pavers, which of course is going to be extraordinarily popular.
Do you know how long it's been there is a question? There is a 5-year limitation.
This is 3131?
They used to be 7, so did they go through with the change on
Is
that?
it live?
I thought I heard 5 at some point in the past.
Claims based on contract you generally have a 5-year statute of
Yeah.
limitations.
Okay.
But also that they had to find it, right? The owner had to prove they have it for 5 years, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
We still don't-
So if they don't have the
Process,
proof-
but that's an attorney question there.
Okay.
It just was sticking out as being a problem. They're saying, oh, here's an example, and I'm like,
Is there any records that they can go back and check to see if it was?
What's the address of that one?
I believe it was like 3023 Sangria. It looked like one of the ones from there, it says 3023 on it.
We can take a look at what we have and from the previous company, what they have, to see if there's any documentation that's not issue.
Yeah, there might be something from that.
This is the.
Considering that in the previous iteration of the board, I was doing the architectural review myself. I don't remember ever approving anything like that, I just didn't know, because
Right.
we didn't read the papers at all here. So.
We have a problem with this.
We'll definitely take a look at that.
That's so far out, like that's,
Okay,
that's
so
on
that's where we are with
The county.
architectural review.
easement.
Okay,
So
Mark, what was that address you thought it was on Sangria?
3023.
3023 St. Green, it looks like one of the homes on St. Green. Yeah.
and also,
Is
there's
that the one that has the steps that go up to the front door from the sidewalk?
It probably has, yes.
Are those the papers we're talking about? You sounded, you were talking about a driveway, huh?
Well, as I understood it from the picture, it looks to me like that everything from the driveway side across the little bit of yard and the doorway and out to the sidewalk, it's all paper.
Yeah, I think it's 3033, where they brought that road, remember when they brought the road across to the back there when they were doing stuff?
It could be.
3033, that goes up, so from the sidewalk, it parallels the driveway, and has like 3 or 4.
You're talking about the steps with the lights on them?
Yeah,
I don't know,
Their driveway doesn't have papers.
but I think they
That's
made
the
the stairs,
The
yeah.
steps are paper.
and I think I remember looking at the architectural requests.
That's a homeowner that made a request and submitted that as a sample, right?
Is it this one?
Yes. Yes,
Sorry.
it's the
Yeah,
one
that's the one.
Mark, is it this one?
the way that that looks.
Mark.
looks like
3051.
Is it that one?
They expanded it, they didn't expand the apron, which the county.
Request
Those
was
are steps that go up to the house.
No, probably this one.
And,
3051 what?
Yes, it is.
Menorca.
It
Yeah,
is, it looks like,
They don't care.
it's blurry, but it's 30, either 23 or 33.
But it's the one with the light
It's
stone?
this one.
Yeah, that's the one, that's the one with the.
Yeah, that's 33.
33, that's 3033 Sangria.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3033, that's the one.
And in his defense, I believe that house was sold like that. I don't know the homeowner, but I knew the previous homeowner, and those were installed when the other homeowner had it. So it was sold like that, I'm saying within the last year and a half, maybe. 2 years.
I think it's been around a while.
No, the papers have been there a while.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think they've been around a while.
But the current homeowner inherited the problem.
What about the others with the fences in front of them? There was one here on 22.
That's a good question for the lawyer.
Yeah.
There's some houses that the developer built with like these little, like veranda type fences in the front of the house.
It's called a party wall.
It's called a
A
what?
party wall. So it's a half wall.
No, it's not the party wall I'm talking about. I'm talking about fence, like iron fence.
Oh.
And you know, like a balcony type fence, but on the first floor in front. I think he intended it to be decorative, but our rules don't allow for that. So
This is a yard decoration, it's attached to the house.
Attached to the house.
Is this like on my property, on the front porch?
on your property?
Does it go an iron, a black iron?
Yeah.
The only one I can remember is the 3011 Florencia has it. Is that the one that has it even going all the way up to the sidewalk? They got it enclosed.
Look, if the developer put it in, the developer had discretion to do whatever the hell he wanted when he was in control of the neighborhood, so.
But how do we know that the developer did it? I'm just assuming that that's how it was, because it looks like there's a number of houses that have it. Some of them have it on the top, and some of them have it on the bottom.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you could send them, the homeowner a letter and say you're in violation if they come back and be like, no, the developer did that. Well, if the developer did it, they're allowed to maintain their property in the same condition that the developer built it.
So send the first letter then to see what's going on.
They don't have it for all of them.
Huh?
They don't have it too.
Yeah.
They're on letter 2 already?
Yeah.
And they haven't responded to any of these?
But that would be a defense, if they're like, no, man, the developer installed it, because the developer had discretion to do whatever the heck he wanted. When he was in control of the neighborhood, the documents gave him that authority to just change the ARC guidelines. So,
There's chairs around.
Here, take this.
so that was, so if they're already sent from letters, I mean, let's just see what they say, because if they come back and they have the developer installed it, well, it's a.
So what if you did it, if they changed it?
It'd be, then the burden would be on us to prove it.
What if the developer did install it, but they don't know, or they are not smart enough to say, hey, I was a developer? That could happen.
You know, because right now he sent the letter and he says in the second one, they don't
I mean,
have
it's not-
responding.
It's not our obligation to make their case for them. If you wanted to offer that as a discussion point, we can.
Well, I think we should deal with it when we get there.
Yeah, yeah, and also because I see people putting new fences like that on houses that they are a chrome color.
That is
Yeah.
approval.
And that's,
It's around the porch here on,
yeah, so, yeah, on
they never.
Casabella, no? And they should,
So basically, that's what Chris, right, that's what you're saying, that if the developer put it, there's nothing we could do.
Yeah.
We could probably just deny it, if it damages, if they want to replace it, we could probably deny putting it back in.
Yeah.
But once the developer put it, that's it.
So for maintenance items, they're not even required to ask us for permission. They're allowed to maintain the property. If they want to make a change to the exterior of the property, they got to come to us and ask for the change. But if all they're doing is fixing what's already there, they don't have to ask us for permission to do that.
Okay.
So, but just to be clear, are we talking about some kind of fence like those on the houses that have balconies? Some houses have
Correct,
balconies. and
correct.
some- They need a fence. Otherwise.
no, we're talking
We're
about,
talking on the first
I thought,
floor.
what, are we talking about those kind of fences? Or ones on balconies?
correct.
So pretty much that's the same thing on the apartment. The apartment has those doors.
Because the one.
No, no,
those two
like-
stories has the balusters that have the line, those are part of the house, that's built in. We're talking about the iron fences.
Correct, that's what I'm saying, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, but you said yes, but he said it's the same thing, that's why.
Not the same at the one on the second floor, they have that fences, they have
The
that.
decorative one, there is
Yeah.
one or two houses that
Yeah.
have that. But you talk about the porch, right?
I wanted to see if it was the same thing, if we're talking about the same thing or not. That's really my question.
So we do it like case by case and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing that's gonna take a lot of time, because there's a lot of different stuff in here that,
oh yeah, it's a lot.
it's a daunting task.
Okay. Compliance.
Anything else with architectural? No? All right, let's move on to compliance then.
Last meeting was earlier this week, Tuesday, 28th. And we were at the Artemis facility. And myself and Dave as well, the 3 members, so we got 4 to it. And we went through and looked at, a couple of people came about the situation with the roofs. One of them had actually had the roof cleaned and was unhappy with how the quality of the job, but we had a photograph. I said, as far as I'm concerned, you're 90% there, I'm not gonna worry about it, you're not. If you wanna go and have a lawsuit with your cleaner, that's fine, it's your, I'm not gonna tell you to do that. Because you've done the work, it looks good. We had another lady that was there that was needing, as she put it, she had the choice of cleaning the roof or paying special assessment. So she paid the special assessment, she said, I'm going to have to put off cleaning the roof until first quarter of 2024. And we talked about that, discussed it, and told her that she could have the full first quarter to the end of March of 2024 to go ahead and get a roof cleaned. She said we'd probably have to earlier than that, but that's what she needed because she couldn't finance all of it at once. She also explained that she's, and I think you may mention this, that she's got problems with the stucco on her house.
Yeah.
And they had samples, and of course they took the samples and used flat white stucco on it, so now the house is not painted. And so she's suing over the damage to the stucco or the problems.
She's in litigation at the moment, so she's need some more time to address that as well.
Litigation with somebody with Stockholm issues?
Yes. I think she said Mr. Gilbert.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, oh, that's what I want to say, because we have some people coming in, looking at all the 2-floor houses, and they came to do a lawsuit on the Ray home, just because of Stockholm on the 2nd floor.
We had a number of other violations that there's been no response, no information. We went ahead and said, okay, forward those to the full board, let you guys take a look at it. And so that's where we're at with that.
So we have about 15 violations that are ready for filing. And I'm looking forward to.
How many did you say?
15.
15?
Yes.
And all those were broken.
Gotcha. So I drove around actually today and before the meeting, and I found 3 houses that are clean. And I don't know if you were aware of that, but 2997 Siesta View Drive, it was clean. 2997.
997.
And that was way back.
Siesta View.
Siesta View, yes, sir.
And was there any other units that you said?
2819 Via Largo is clean.
Okay.
And 2807 Via Largo is also clean.
Yeah, so I was here Tuesday morning, and made sure that this was updated. So this is from Tuesday night.
You probably missed it because
Yeah,
some of those roofs have been
clean
clean
months.
for a long time, trust me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Make sure that
We'll go ahead and update those.
that's okay.
Yeah, I'll make sure that
Yeah, it's
I'll
fine.
close those out. So I'll scratch those out and make sure that it's updated in the system.
Should we talk about special assembly during the financial?
I think so.
Okay, let's move on then to the financial stuff. Anybody have a discussion, financial committee? We didn't meet, so,
No meeting, you asked me to ask Ronaldo
Mhm.
for additional documentation, because we only have one piece of 4 that we should get. And I did send you an email, I probably copied it on that. I did, being an IT person, I did set it up so that we get a delivery confirmation and a reading confirmation. He got it, he read it. I assume that.
I know with these financials, he did send a separate, like, Excel sheet with the payments of the special assessment separated from the main financials. But, I guess Tim said you didn't receive any of the documents, and when I looked at the email, the financial committee is CC'd on it, and I verified his email, and his email's right, but he said he didn't receive it.
But is it right in their computer?
Well, it doesn't matter, because he created the group, it's in our computer.
But he's sending it.
Correct, but he's using our email address for the group.
Yeah, the finance, yeah.
From
Yeah.
Outlook.
So, either way, I mean, me and Tim were discussing it before the meeting, that there's some things we gotta look at, but we'll meet sometime in the next month, hopefully, and be ready for the January meeting to discuss that, okay? So is there anything else? I just wanted to add one thing, I'm gonna actually bring it up from the old business and just deal with it now during the financial stuff. Or maybe I should wait, you think, or?
It's financial, so.
So yeah, so we can just add that. So basically, the special assessment is due December 31st. As of now, Dewey just told us we've only collected $100,600 in change. So we're still about 80% deficit here. I know there's a few homeowners who have asked for payment plans. How many? Don't tell me who, I just don't know how many of those.
4.
Just 4 people for payment plans? Okay. And you got my last email where I told you that we needed some information from them?
Yes, and they've been provided that information as well, and Karen also sent some questions as well, so I'll send both of you guys.
So we have that information already?
No, they have
Okay.
not provided the
Okay.
information yet. I got a phone call from one of them, and they basically were saying we need to extend this as far as possible. I'll give them the email information and just wait on their response.
Okay, so we only have 4 people that have reached out, and we have a lot of money to still to collect. I'm hoping deep down inside that a lot of homeowners are just holding out to the last minute and that the money will come through. However, I think it's fiscally responsible for us to start considering our options, just in case people don't pay on time. We don't have much time to complete the deal with the cable lady. So, you know, we have to, I think, come up with a contingency on that. My suggestion that I've been trying to look into, I still don't have all the information to present today, but I'm considering that the HOA should consider even a short-term loan or some way. I asked council about also maybe seeing if there's a way that legally we can borrow some money from maybe the townhome reserves temporarily, so we collect that money. You know, so I mean, I'm open to whatever options. These are just suggestions I'm making. But I think that we should make every effort to make this happen, and you know, because the money will be collected eventually. It's just not, may not be collected on time.
What's the absolute cutoff? Like, when do we have to have the payment into her?
What's the absolute what?
When we have to have the payment into her attorney.
With the due date, you mean?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, John,
I know the due date, but remember that Artemis has to do the legwork of getting the money together, getting the check, all that's gonna take time.
Well, I can tell you when they're expecting payment.
January 31st,
You
right?
can, you can.
And that's January what?
31st.
31st.
We'll never get a loan in that amount of time. That would be, I mean, we would be, it's possible, but we would be hard pressed to pull a loan in 60 days during all.
And another one, I want to make sure to make it clear that people understand this is already passed. This is an assessment. So whoever doesn't pay, this is not like if they choose to pay or not. Like if they don't pay, you know, it goes to your lawyer, it goes to legal because it's already above almost $1,000. So it's going to go straight to lien, you know, so make sure, you know, we've been talking since November 2022 from this special assessment. Just to make it,
Now,
you know, that clear.
Do it.
Yes.
Or Z, are you familiar with any banks that do this type of lending to HOAs that may
We
facilitate?
have a couple banks that we can look into. We'll reach out to Ray, because he's the one that has to help them. There's a specific person in Charlotte. I think there's 2. I think it's one Florida or Florida Sun, and there's another one that we can with them. Again, I don't know if it's an agreement.
Some are the Bailey Bank.
Say it again?
Bailey Bank, when you get our mistake, they were there in the presentation. They do loans to HOA, but you have to put so much money in their account, you know, for your loan. So then maybe another bank to look into.
Valley Bank.
Reach out to Ray, and then he'll give us the different accounts.
So they'll give you a loan, but they want to collateralize your operating funds.
Right, but what they said they would do, because we don't own property, we would have to sign over all the assessments that we get. So you don't pay them back, they start collecting all the assessments, and you guys have nothing, no budget, no nothing.
That's fine.
That makes sense, 'cause that won't happen,
But
but
that's your collateral, your assessments.
We were gonna do that.
that doesn't sound legal to me.
No, it is, it's basically.
Take all of it? How did that?
It would be the special assessment money, so you would assign your right to be.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. I see what you're saying, special assessment.
So they would just litigate on your behalf to get the money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would keep all of the fees and stuff that's generated by that.
Oh, yes.
So, I met with someone at Chase, and obviously I don't have all the information because the person that actually does it wasn't there. But this Chase representative was saying that a commercial loan, they carry a lot of heavy interest. She was talking like 20%. She says, it's gonna be steep, she said. So she was saying that we should probably consider a line of credit instead of a loan because the interest rate will be like half.
Well, but, you know, that's fine, as long as what, they're not asking us to collateralize property. We could
I have to find out.
we could collateralize our ability to collect on assessments, you know, but we don't.
Yeah, I told her we don't have property, and she just said that they're gonna probably just want, long-term financial records to make sure that we're stable.
I mean, if they're willing to do an unsecured line of credit for us for $300K, okay. I mean, because as soon as the money comes in, we'll just pay it off and it'll be done, so.
Okay.
I was also telling Mario that the law does allow us to borrow from reserve, but we would need a vote to do that.
Is that the 51 or 75?
No, it is a majority vote of a quorum.
Okay, so it
So
would just be
quorum is
majority.
30%.
It's 147, the quorum.
Okay,
Quorum is
okay.
30%, and we would need a majority of the quorum to approve it. And you would just be taking a short-term loan from your own reserve account and repaying yourself as the money is collected.
So I guess at that point, the townhomes, would it be the townhome people that would have to, vote on it and not the single?
The entire membership would have to do it.
So we need 75 houses, 75 people from the quorum to vote.
Right, so quorum would be 30% of the entire membership, which would include the townhomes.
But at that point,
So if we get, so what you're saying is that if we get the votes, even if nobody from townhomes vote yes, we can use the money from townhomes to pay this, even without the townhomes approval, because the rest of BS all do. That's what you're saying? Okay. I want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
Right. So I just encourage all of us to make an effort to try to see if there's any other options that I might have not thought about that would be more viable. You know, the more we try to save on that process, the more savings is going to be for the homeowners that don't pay. Because, I
So
mean,
my only comment to this would be, and forgive me if I'm saying something stupid, but, I would put in balance the interest, because if we are paying 10% interest over $300,000, and we pay out the debt in a year, let's say, how much money is that? And would that compensate what we're saving from buying the contract?
Well, you guys are supposed to save
That's-
1.5 million over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Another one, can we, if we get a loan, or if, whatever happened because we don't get the money, can we charge whatever interest to those that didn't pay on time on December 31st?
origination fees and all that, whatever the HOA lays out to create that loan, can the people who haven't paid incur that equal?
Because then we say, that I don't understand your point, because if we get interest rate, yeah. Because we are doing something that we're not supposed to be doing, because
Yeah.
the people are supposed to just pay that special assessment.
yeah,
Or it had to be equally, but
well, yeah, but see, you're trying to pass that off as a cost, right? But it's a cost that's shared by 3/4 of the neighborhood. I think that would be harder to justify doing that. Like, you could charge late fees for not paying your assessment, but how would you then link it to the interest rate that you're paying on the loan? Right?
because they didn't pay.
So what you would have to do is you would just have to adjust your late fee schedule for all delinquent assessments in order to try to recover the money that you had to pay in origination fees.
All right, let's just think about these. I mean, I think it's gonna require, just to get back to Jason, we won't be able to do this and wait till January to take care of it. This is something we gotta do like yesterday. So, once we figure out what we're gonna do, then I think we should have a special meeting to resolve the issue before we get to the end of the line.
definitely agree with that.
Okay?
Just keep in mind, if you're gonna try to go to, if you try to take a loan from your own reserve accounts, that requires a membership meeting, which is 14 days notice. Right, so, if that's
the
what,
amount of time, so
Right.
think about 20 days in total,
Yeah.
honestly.
right, so if that's the way we're gonna go.
So like
we're
January
sending out
2nd.
notices in like the next week or two, at the latest.
I would rather not, because, the point Marcelo made is something I've thought about. I mean, townhomes were not gonna be happy about that, even if it's short term, they're just not, and I think if I were a town owner, I wouldn't be happy about it either, but, because you're basically saying you're gonna utilize their reserves to cover people who just don't wanna pay or can't pay. And, they don't have really a say in it. It's a hard pill to swallow, but
To take a loan out, do they need the membership to okay that too?
No, a loan, and the regular
Well, it
loan.
depends. If the bank is not asking you to collateralize real property, then no, you wouldn't need a vote.
But if they collateralize the assessment money, then yes, right?
No, you guys control the finances.
Okay.
Right?
So as long as they're only taking the special assessment money, then we're good.
Right, all you're doing is assigning a right that you as an association have to collect money that's already been approved to the lender. All right, so you can do that without a vote of the membership. That if they're like, hey, we want you to come out and sign a mortgage for your clubhouse or something, like, well, okay, well, we can't. Obviously, we can't do that, well, we don't own it, but even if we did, that would require a vote of the membership.
The best deal would be if we could find that millionaire homeowner that's a neighbor,
Who's willing to front
that
the
can
money?
front up the money and give them the 15%, 10%.
Well, and you don't collect enough money to make your monthly payment. If people
Well,
still owe it.
if all we're doing is collateralizing the association's right to collect on those funds, the bank would just turn and do that collection process for you.
But they're not gonna be nearly as nice as the HOA and Chris, right? They're gonna come after these
So they're
people.
going, basically, they,
But I don't think it's gonna be a problem because we are going to push harder than the bank's gonna push, right? That's assessment money that's owed to us. We're not interested in defaulting. We wanna get this thing paid off as soon as possible. And we can do it quicker than the bank's gonna do it. Probably cheaper too.
Yeah.
So I don't really see that being an issue.
The other issue I had with this was that I think, we had an email about this with you. That you have some prepayers that haven't paid the special assessment. And Ray said something about that he cannot just take it and pay it. Can we have maybe customer service reach out to these homeowners and see if it's okay to take that money from there? Because I'm thinking that they have the money sitting there, they're just thinking you're gonna take it, and then you're not, you know? And I just wanna make sure that you at least hear from them, because if they're okay with you taking it from there, then that, we might have more money than we think.
We have to talk to, customer service team and Diane to see if they can do that. That's an additional.
Me?
No, no,
Gotcha,
Oh,
gotcha.
I thought you said you
We'll
gotta
talk to them
take.
to see if they can do that, because that's like an additional product that they have to do.
Yeah, work it out, but if there's a cost associated, let me know, because I wanna know, you know?
Do we know about how many are?
And I was gonna ask you, we have a lot, I don't just know how many of them haven't paid their assessments. Or how many of them have enough money to pay their assessments out of it, the special assessments out of it.
And then worst case scenario, if he doesn't have the money, don't have the loan, what's gonna happen? Are you gonna say it or no?
Oh, so yeah, so, you know, this is very serious. If we cannot find an alternative funding, for this and they don't pay, then the special meeting, instead of being for a loan, it's gonna be to adopt a different budget. That's gonna have to bring enough money to cover the cable. Because the currently adopted budget for next year is assuming that we were all gonna pay and get out of this mess. But that's something that all the homeowners can keep in mind, especially those that are holding out thinking that this is just gonna go away. It's not. It's, if we don't, as one of the board members of this organization, I feel that we all have the obligation to do everything we can to do what's in the best interest of the community. But when all of our abilities to do that are tied behind our backs and we have nothing else to offer, then at the end of the day, you know, the homeowner is the one that is gonna have to suffer, because we're gonna have to go back and the budget has to be made for the amount of money that we need. So keep that in mind. I just wanna make sure that people understood that. We'll try everything we can, but at the end of the day, if we don't pay, then we have to stick with the cable meeting for another 5 years and the budget will change.
But that's not fair for the people that are paid.
Correct.
well, to those people, we will return money, so they will get their money back.
Yeah, but like what you're saying, it's not fair, you know, that we lose.
No, but
Yeah.
you're absolutely correct, it's not fair.
Yeah, it's not.
Yep.
You're right.
But let's hope, you know, that people pay and we get that money.
I'm praying every day that the money comes in the last week.
But you said you have so many people not paying their regular HOA fees, and now the assessment comes along, so they're not paying that either.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
HOA fees, it's not that many people, it's a lot of money, but there's a few people that are not paying.
it's like 14, what we discussed in the meeting, like
Yeah.
14 people.
It's only 14 people that are not paying, but the money's a lot.
Yep.
All right, you guys ready to move on then, landscaping committee?
So the landscaping, I don't know if you guys have seen, it started, obviously the mulch, it got delayed due to rain, so they're gonna start putting more mulch on the houses, I think on the 12th, December 12th.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the mulch, one question, if you don't mind, because I'm not involved with that committee. Like, do we have like any provisionals in the contract for them to remove like the 4 feet of mulch that most of these houses have in their bushes?
No, it's never, well, we never had this in this community. They always
Okay.
put on top of it.
Pointed out, into our house, and it's the worst job that I've ever seen done.
Make sure, complain about it.
I'm gonna put a complaint
Yeah,
on
there were
that.
places where, they just did not cover anything, or they just kind of spray a little bit of that fresh mulch.
And for some houses, they put way too much mulch for one house. They have like, I know a house that has mulch all the way in between the 2 houses. Like they just threw a bunch of mulch and then just throw it.
Our neighbor just.
So make sure, Mark, go into that, go to the website and do that complaint. We need that in writing. So
I'll photograph and send it to.
on the landscaping committee, on the landscaping work order, just put it there.
Yeah.
Because the more we get, that's the, easier to, yeah.
Point that out. I said,
Yeah.
It's just a spot, and I see it done before many times, it's much better.
Today I talked to Juan, and he said he's had several homeowners that want it all removed because they want to put stones in. Isn't this supposed to be like a constant, so the whole community looks the same?
Well, it's supposed to, I don't know, did those houses request it?
Not necessarily, they have an ARC approval to put rocks.
But they probably don't have it. He said several homeowners contacted him and they want to take it all. What they just
I
put it.
know we had one that asked to replace their
Yeah.
volcanic rock with
Yes.
river rock, but that's it, that's all.
So there's 2 questions here. Can the homeowner request to have the mulch removed so that they can put their rock? Or if they have the right to put the rock to begin with, but either way, it's an exterior change, it has to go through the ARC.
Yeah.
Before they can do it.
Approve that, they say, I want to put it in.
So I guess we need to list.
And for one to take it out, it's not gonna be at our expense either, that's at the homeowner's expense.
But I guess we should get that list from Juan and send a letter to these people saying, you need an art request.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna get, fined.
Can you do that, Dylan?
Yeah, I can do that.
Just
And
get-
plus, Ron has been very receptive.
Yeah.
Anyone
The
who's
one's
had
pretty good
Too
about,
much mulch in their property or anything like that, he's sitting his guys out. for-
I know when they put around your area the mulch, they brought a different crew that it wasn't the one that was supposed to work in here. And those guys, sorry, but they were kind of small. And yeah, they were having issues of carrying the, they were issues because it was heavy. So pretty much, it was a lot of issues on that. They put in too much here, they couldn't pick it up. So Robert, that is the foreman, is supposed to fix all that, but maybe they forgot whatever they did in your area. But yeah, I received that complaint from their foreman, that their guys couldn't handle it. The guys that brought in there. But yeah, please do a landscaping work order.
The phone, I'll photograph what I see, and I'll put you in there.
Thank you. And then, so they started obviously with the trees, the palm trees. They already did the palm trees on the townhouses area. They're going to start doing the trees. So make sure vehicles around your areas are moved so you don't get, scratches, or they can do the job.
well, they won't do it.
Well, that too,
They
yeah.
won't do it.
We didn't know it was being done, and they cut and dropped everything in my husband's car.
So what is a good
There was no
solution?
notification.
What is a good solution to get these kind of things out to everybody?
Yeah.
Because we have front steps, we have websites, we have social media. I feel like we have so many things, and yet there's a lot of homeowners that don't know because, when they just activated this gate, that was a nightmare too. Everybody said, I didn't hear anything about them activating the gates.
But it was sent to, but like he's saying, I know a lot of people is getting it.
So the communication is not to the majority of the community, and I don't know why.
I know when we first started, you guys did contact every single homeowner to tell them about us being your equipment management company and also get them registered. We cannot force people to register. However, we try to walk them through every single homeowner who receives a phone call. Now, as for the tenants finding out, that's a different story, because we reach out to the homeowners as we, deal with the homeowners. It is the owner's responsibility to reach out to their tenants and provide them with Facebook. We can post as much as we can, but at the end of the day, it's up to their discretion if they want to be registered or if they want to follow your information. Now, if you guys have a whiteboard or something of that nature that you can post, or something posted here, obviously this is not here. This is
somewhere.
It should be also, yes, they should be also be able to post something as well. But again, we have those homeowners that don't read their emails or walk through the clubhouse or anything like that. We can do as much as possible, but it's up to them as well.
I mean, to do a mail out of 489 homes every time we're gonna do something here, you're talking an expense of $2,000-3,000 each time that we're gonna do it. And if we do 10 things in a year, that's a lot of money.
Well, I read all the emails and nothing went out about cutting functions.
Well, that one, I think, it went out, but it went out, I think, well, yeah, way back saying by this time it's gonna be cutting trees.
They cut it already, and they came yesterday and cut them again, but they called them previously.
Okay.
This is why
Maybe they did palm trees one day, they did hard trees the next day.
So make sure, make sure with one again, that he need to make sure,
I think we should put it on the vendor, actually.
Yeah.
I think the best thing is that he should be generating maybe these stickies that they put on people's doors and stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a good way to do it, because I just feel, because we don't know when they're gonna do what.
Correct.
That's the thing. If we do it ourselves, we're gonna let everybody know, and then he's gonna come 3 weeks later and do it. So since he's the only one that knows when he's gonna do which sections, then just tell him that, maybe 3 days before that, or a week before if you can, to put the stickies on them saying, Thursday, tree cutting, don't park near the trees, or something like that.
And we should know a week in advance period, us, the
Yeah.
management company, because we should be also sending out
Right.
notifications, so.
But maybe that's something to talk with the landscaping committee too, is that when he's gonna do these big things, it's not, he can't be moving the date around too, He has to kind of commit that maybe every year he's gonna do it on this day or this week. And then, this way, if something changes, then we just have to notify people then. But if he's gonna do it, let's say the second week in November every year, then people can be alerted over time that that's gonna be the time it's gonna be done.
That's what my neighborhood does.
Yeah.
We get a notice in the mail that says, hey, HOA's cutting trees this week. Watch where you park your car.
So you get a notice like a postcard or?
Yeah, it's just a little.
So maybe that's another option. I don't know how much postcards cost us.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Do we know how much they cost us?
I don't know. It's probably-
They give
I know it's less expensive than the,
Yeah, it's cheaper, because remember we discussed.
Yeah,
we did it for the special
In
assessment.
relative bulk, when we used to do them at Venetian, and there was only 50 people there, it was $30 a piece.
Okay.
It wasn't very much money at all.
So I think that might be a good option. Thanks for bringing that up, because I think maybe sending a postcard a week before, 2 weeks before.
They know,
You just give
and
them
then
a window.
your neighbor.
Because our just gives a window to say, hey, this week, we're gonna be in your neighborhood, and it might be Monday, I come to your house, it might be Friday, but it's this week, so watch where you park your car.
So can we establish that logistic like for everything? Because even with the soft washing, that's been a little bit of a project. People are kind of freaking out that they're gonna have stuff washed now. And some people know, some people don't know. So maybe doing something like that.
Okay, I present you guys with that proposal.
And then maybe ask also the vendor to see if he can go to the buildings that he's gonna do and make sure put it before.
And I don't necessarily need to know the cost for each house, but if you just tell me what the total cost would incur for every one of these mail outs, it would be better,
Got it.
more objective for me. Okay?
People that you send in for a special assessment should be the same amount, it's just gonna be one.
Okay, so that's it
Safety
pretty much.
committee.
So the safety committee, we already started with also the Sheriff Volunteer Program, myself and Luis Corrales. So we're doing, as soon as we get the vehicle available, we come and sign off and go around the community. And usually sometimes we go outside, but we're doing it most inside Villasol, going in the night or during the day. We obviously need more volunteers. I know someone, but he's not here, requested over social media, to be part, but since he's not here, to be part of the safety committee. And, so pretty much that's what we're doing. We have other volunteers that are still waiting on the Osceola Sheriff to prepare their application. So as soon as we get those, then they're gonna be doing the same.
Okay, that it? All right, social committee. All right, we just had our successful Halloween trunk or treat and our second garage sale of the year. We want to do a Christmas party, but we need manpower. We need people to volunteer to set it up, to take it down, to help with the logistics of it, because, you know, right now, no one's helping, just me and my wife, to be honest with you. And, you know, people say they want to help, but then they don't show up to help. So, did you look around and see if any of the vendors are willing to donate anything that maybe we can pay for the services?
Yeah.
Have you got any?
Contacted Lady Runners and no response at all.
I talked to him personally at one of the landscaping meetings. He said he was going to do something for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I emailed him twice.
Call him.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you need money, you got to call people.
Yeah, and also, we also have a special events coordinator with Artemis, Ashley.
Okay.
Who's that, Bob?
No, Ashley Sorto.
Oh, Ashley.
Yeah, she's gonna help us out with some stuff as well, so.
But I need to know this because we got to do this like now.
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
You know, I've been,
What day are you looking for?
huh?
What day are you looking at?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it has to be before Christmas, you know?
Yep.
So I'm thinking somewhere around the 12th. I gotta look at the calendar, but yes.
It can be the 11th or the
Another
18th.
question is, should we do it on a weekend? Should we do it on a weekday?
A weekend.
You know what we could do too? You know, people are putting decorations up throughout the community and their town hall. And have like a contest.
Yep.
That people can vote and geez, they get it like, you know, whoever gets the most votes.
Yeah, we did it last year.
They get like a $25
Yep.
gift card.
We did that last year, but we didn't get to the voting part because we didn't have a way to collect the votes and not many people will participate.
We do it, yeah, well, not only that, you can get volunteers, not the board, obviously, but get some volunteers, say, and then we send out an email blast. We do this with a lot of our associations. We send out an email blast, hey, we're doing a holiday decorating contest. Please have your lights up by the 16th of the month. We're going to do the inspections on the 17th and 18th. And the committee or volunteers will go together, not you guys.
Mhm.
Volunteers will go together to the houses. They'll take pictures of the houses and they choose amongst themselves for the community.
That makes
That
sense.
way you're not necessarily reaching out to the community. I mean, yes, you can do that, but it's going to be a back and forth, to be very honest. So the committee will be the voters.
So can we get this, Ashley, what's her name? Ashley what? Sorto? Why don't you have her contact my wife and let her work? To be honest with you, I'm helping out where I could, but I did see my wife a little stressed out about this during Halloween. We were at the point that we just weren't gonna do it because no one had responded to anything. But luckily, this has happened 2 Halloweens in a row, where no one says anything. We show up thinking we're gonna be the only 2 cars, and then a bunch of people show up. You know, but we didn't know they were coming.
I think communication is key too, maybe a weekly email blast and digging up to the event.
So we can work with Ashley, maybe she could do that part for you, because I don't have the time to be doing it.
No,
The weekly thing would be either do it or Ashley are working together combined. As for Ashley, we can get, food trucks involved. There's a whole bunch of things. Yes, granted, some things you pay for, some things you don't pay for. So you need to have your wife's contact number.
She's in the website, and she's part of the committee, her
Okay,
information's
just
on
make
there.
sure.
I can give it to you if you want. Everybody's gonna write it down. I'll get you that on meeting.
Make sure that I got
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that we have it and then we'll go there.
Don't contact her till next week, she's not around right now.
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
All right, so, yeah, so let's get Ashley to help social committee coordinate a holiday party. It doesn't have to be grand. I was thinking, what I had an idea is kind of just having finger foods and drinks and just basically having people come over. I don't know if people want to sing Christmas carols, we've got some singers here. Or, you know, just kind of like have a get together, with the homeowners for just a couple hours. And maybe maybe get a Santa surprise or something, I don't know. Something along those lines.
Do we have a volunteering Santa Claus?
I'm looking at Mark. You make a good Santa,
Mark's not jolly enough.
I'm just kidding.
We will definitely look into that.
Yeah, and then don't forget,
Because
yeah,
again, it's crunch time right now, a
Yeah.
lot of places.
I wish I would've known this 2 months ago.
Yeah.
He did mention it a couple months
No,
ago, actually.
no, no
Perhaps
one's ever
it's
told
still
me.
Mike's house, yes.
But she was supposed to get in touch with the social committee, and that's never happened. So,
So anyway, another one, just make sure all the vendors are out. So we got BPW, Blade Runners to see if they can donate something, you know.
We don't have our contact information, all we have is your phone number, so send us the email,
Yeah.
of their name and contact, and we'll have Ashley.
I have her name, there, I just need her phone number. We go.
Okay.
I'll send it right after me.
Thank you.
Okay? All right, the last thing I'm gonna say about social committee is, the social committee and the social events are only as good as the people who participate. And I know that Artemis is gonna help us with the logistics, but at the end of the day, we're gonna need people's opinions, we're gonna need people to give ideas and, you know, and participate any way they can. We don't have to, everybody doesn't have to do the same thing, but we need people to work with us, okay? Otherwise, the social committee will cease to exist at some point if no one keeps it going. But, yeah, that's all I have. We can move on to old business. So construction defect lawsuit, February 8th. Anybody want to talk about this? February 8th. You want to do a spiel about
Yeah,
that?
let me know. So, we've had an opportunity to talk to Mulgenic, who's representing us from the legal end, and the engineering team, who their name escapes me at this point in time. So we did have a closed board meeting, where they showed us preliminarily kind of what was going on, what they had found. We're still waiting the final report to come out from them. It's going to take some time. The pictures it took were the thousands of data points that they have. I was a little taken back by the amount of damage that was being done, they found. So what our next steps going forward is we're going to get that final report, but we've also put together an opportunity for our townhome owners, as well as the legal firm and the engineering firm to come together so that they could show you what they showed us. So we can try to explain here in a meeting, and it's a much more than what we could explain. So we've asked them to come in and have a town hall. Our townhome owners and single-family homeowners are obviously welcome as well, to see and hear and ask the questions you may have about what's going on and what they found. They're going to bring their data points and all that kind of stuff with them when they come and see us. So we've set that date already. So we're going to be socializing that January 8th.
February 8th.
So February 8th will be that date. So we're going to have that. We'll be here at the clubhouse.
Do we have a time for that? Is it 7 or is it
It is at 6 on my calendar.
6 p.m.?
Okay, so it looks like 6 p.m., but we're going to continue to push that information out. So if you do hear of anything, as you're talking to your neighbors about it, let them know. February 8th is the date. Again, we'll continue to try to message that out as much as we can to give you guys the direct access as a homeowner in the townhome area to the lawyers and to the engineering team and let them talk to you. Like I said, they had tons of evidence. They peeled a lot of layers back, a lot of different areas. They even went as far as they explained to us the process that they went through and the standards that they had to perform all these tests in. So it's not just someone ripping apart the side of the building. There's actually a process and a procedure they went through, which is industry standard. So it was very interesting to see, but more to come for our townhome owners and from those results. Because February 8th is going to be that key date where we're going to have a town hall for you guys to be able to have that action. So that's our next step. With that being said, during that meeting, we asked both the engineering team and the legal team about the ability for us to start washing the buildings. They did green light all of that. I know it's been a long time coming. We started that process with January,
December.
last year. December, it was a while ago, right? But we wanted to make sure that they were comfortable with it and making sure we were cause more damage. So they were comfortable with the soft washing process. They have green lighted that, so that will be beginning here very shortly. I think that's pretty much it. We went through. It was a good 2-hour meeting we had with the representatives, and a lot of interesting information came out. So I'm going to make sure that we gave that directly to you and it come through a third channel.
I know he mentioned the townhouses, but this is also, the townhouses need our help, like the single family, to vote on it because they need the 75%. So make sure also attend the town hall so you know what they're suffering, what they've been going through. So because they need our vote, to go move forward with this lawsuit.
And me and Herman have a lot of experience with getting votes, from the recall to the assessments to everything that we've been doing. So I want to tell you that, talk to one of the town homeowners. We're going to need a lot of boots on the ground to get that vote because it's very hard. The biggest thing you need is time, so if people have to volunteer to go and knock on 5 doors, 3 doors, over time, we should be able to get all those votes in time for the day of the voting. But, I hope, because a lot of single family homes owners are going to look at it like, has nothing to do with me, I don't care, because they might not understand that their vote counts towards helping the townhomes. And the other thing that has to be clear is that this is not costing anybody in the association anything. It's just a matter of needing the support to move forward with the lawsuit because it's a big money lawsuit. And our documents say that we have to get the approval of most of the ownership, which is 75%. So I hope that we can get a lot of town homeowners to come out and help get votes. And, hopefully we'll have a meeting at some point when we get there. But we'll invite as many people as want so that we can kind of have a strategy to go out and get those votes. Now, from that meeting, I was a little confused, right? This is an informational meeting only, right? Town hall, we're not planning to have any votes or anything like that.
On the 8th time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
They'll go, they'll have pictures, they'll talk to you about what they found, what the process was. And
Because I thought the engineer said then we'll vote like a couple of times, and I was like, is it happening that day or not?
No.
Okay, all right.
Can you verify this in case, but,
All right, and the last question I have on that, if there are single family home owners that bought recently, are they able to join this lawsuit if they have damage like that, or do they have to open up their own lawsuits? Single family, that's
Single
single.
family?
Yeah, let's just say, I'm just asking a general
But the
question.
same guy, they probably have to do their own claims.
They would have to do their own individual.
Yeah, because we have
Because
standing.
that's coming, I know someone's gonna ask me that question, I just wanna be prepared to give that
Because
answer.
we have standing to do the townhomes because we're the party that's responsible to maintain them. Right, that's the reason we're able to do it on behalf of the town.
Okay, but I just wanna make sure, that I know there's homeowners that bought recently, and I know they have similar issues. I've heard, and I've seen some of the houses that they've been getting repairs, and I know as soon as this goes out virally to everybody, people will say, well, what about me? I had the same damage. So I just wanna make sure that they understand that they can pursue it on their own.
The best thing to do then would probably just be to give them Bob Janik's number and say, reach out to them, tell them your situation, because that's their area of expertise, so they'll be able to give them.
Gotcha.
So the good thing about that, I'm thinking now, is that as part of the inspection, they inspected at least one building for each of the developers that we have. Because we started with Ray, then we had.
Yeah, there was like a half.
Infinity
We
Home.
had like five
was
or
like
six developers, right? And they inspected all of them. And they see patterns of malpractices in the way they construct this space. So probably they did the same thing with single families.
That's what I was thinking.
So Captain Ward is already done.
Yep. And I've seen the people doing it, so, and like you said, if they could go to Blue Janet, they'd probably get their own case.
Well, yeah, right, but so, and Bob Janik would be a good point of contact for him anyway, because some of the evidence they've collected for the townhomes, they could probably use
Yeah.
anything else too.
And I just wanna make sure that.
It's the same contractors, they'll do
Right.
exactly
Yeah.
that, yeah.
I just wanna make sure that I understand that the HOA can't get involved in that, that'll be from that.
Well, we lucked out because you were in Mercedes, but the other contract, they had some pretty bad builders in here.
So handyman.
All right, moving on then, that's it, right, nobody has anything else to say on construction? All right, townhome repairs, how we doing with that,
Town hall repairs.
Please tell me that shutter on the second floor is
Oh,
done.
it's done. It's confirmed that it is done.
All right, I'm done by their Saturday,
Yeah,
man.
it is done. Oh, man. So the first page said you could do it, and it's like, oh, I can't go on the second floor. I'm like, okay. So I finally got, I need to take care of it, and so that's taken care of. I don't have any pending repairs right now.
We don't have any repairs open right
For the 3160 or 3172, the roof repair for that.
now? Okay, yeah, I wanted to say something about that during the ARC and I forgot. Can we respond to our ARC request now that we know what we're using? So you can close that?
Okay, yeah, if that's the case, I mean, so we decided we're gonna do
I
all of the town.
yeah, but you just have to approve hers because she's.
The colors, yeah.
Yeah.
For the color.
We can go ahead and approve that, just run it through, and, 3172.
72.
Maybe you go right into him because give him the exact color we're using. I forgot the name, it's like Caramella or something like that.
Yeah, the one that, you
The
saw.
one that we all agreed on. But anyway, I just wanted you to respond, and I saw you guys had it on the boilerplate still, and I just don't want her to have any hiccups. So the NOCs on that, has that been taken care of? Because I reached out to that guy today, and he hasn't responded. I've emailed him, he doesn't respond.
Was it signed by you guys?
I haven't signed anything. I was out of town. I got back Friday,
Yeah.
but today I was off all day, so I was like, if it needs to be done, I can do it now.
Yeah,
And no one was-
talked about it, so we confirmed that, we can get it done, right? And so I'm just waiting on an approval from you all, from the board,
Approval
for the NOCs, I mean, a signature on the NOC, so it could be.
The notice of commencement.
for. So you have them now, or? I'm not
No,
sure.
he's asking for us to sign.
I remember,
Terra County.
So,
it's already in email thread,
Yeah,
you sent it to
but-
Chris.
And Chris says that the
so
homeowner
you
has
just want
to
them to
sign.
sign it and send it back to you, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, the homeowners aren't required to sign it. This is gonna be a project from the association, so, I mean, they responded on that thread and said that.
Yeah, but he's on there.
So then the only one that has to sign it is the lady that is using her insurance?
No, the board, a representative of the board.
You know what he's talking about?
Because the NOC, and it is, it's a project from the association. So that means that a representative of the board has to sign it.
Is that what the vendor's telling us?
Yeah.
Yeah, the vendor's wrong, but whatever, that doesn't.
Because of the intent of the process. I mean,
Well, if you talk to him, tell him to
But
call
listen,
me. We need to work this out.
If he wants us to sign it, just sign it, because whether or not his lien gets perfected on that property is not our problem.
No, and I don't care either, but I need the papers to sign.
Yeah, that's what, if that's what they want, if they will be happy with one of our board members signing the NOC, whether it ultimately works for them perfecting their lien or not, is not really our problem, right? That's their problem.
From my understanding, he said he needed wet ink, so sending me an email, me signing them, I'm gonna scan them, and send them back.
Yeah.
So he said he needed wet ink, so we have to do
Can
it,
you print it and let me pick it up?
huh?
Can you print it and let me pick it up, or?
I can do that, sure.
So
I'm not
see,
gonna-
talk to it to see whenever it's signed, and then we'll pick it up, we'll pick it up.
Yes. Because I was trying to get.
Okay, so I will sign the NOC.
Yeah, because at the beginning, he sent it to me,
Put it on there like that, okay, I'll just do it.
I put it to Chris, and that's how it was handled.
No, maybe.
I don't think the vendor's right, but
No.
whatever, it's his project, that's what he wants.
So the board, so the
How many
HOA is
NOCs
not
are
like.
there? Five? There are 5 NOCs?
Well, no, it has to
only
be
one.
the actual one, literally, the wet signature means they need the actual one.
Yeah, but I thought it was one for each unit.
No. it's one
You just
for
wrote all the
entire-
units on one.
I know, right?
It's getting worse and worse.
Listen, at the end of the day, Mario, it doesn't matter.
All right.
We don't care.
I'm gonna go home tonight and I'll print it and I'll have it signed. I'll send it to you via email,
Okay.
and then you tell me when you can come pick them up, and I'll leave them on my porch in case I'm not home. So you can get it, okay? All right, so that takes care of that.
Actually,
Did you get a portion of her money?
Yeah.
Did she send it to?
I don't have anything to do with her deal with the contractor, so she's working that out. She got her money. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Did we give our deposit already?
Yes, we did.
When?
Let me get the exact date, because I contacted Ray to make.
Yeah, it
sure
was on the
that
email.
was done.
DeWitt, may I ask, was there a contingency that was attached to this contract, or was it a straight contract with no contingencies?
It was a straight contract. with no contingency.
Okay, so I mean, there is always the possibility that this is gonna go above the number that we were quoted.
No, it was a solid number that was on the contract.
Only for the roof. Did they say that they were gonna repair sheeting if there was damage underneath the pavement?
They stated the pricing on that, but they didn't say, that we didn't do any allowance on it, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
If it can fluctuate at all, like it's not listed on the
Okay.
contract whatsoever.
No, but they did state the pricing for that.
Yeah, no,
So the
it's
rotted
Yeah, how much the fiber costs, how much this costs.
Yeah.
So this is 11/20, so yeah, that's 10 days ago.
$5,000 per sheet of wood.
11/20?
Yes, the deposit was made. They definitely received the deposit.
Because he told me it's gonna take 3 months to get this tile. So I just wanna make sure that the tile has been ordered, and that's the next thing I was gonna say is, can you call him?
Yeah.
Since he's not answering me, and just verify if the tile has been ordered, so we know more or less when to expect it.
I'm stopping by the office actually.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Oh, before we actually move on, I wanted to actually, speak about the manager violation report list, because I want to make sure that next month I'm able to hold the finance hearing, for the next, violations that are raised for funding.
Okay.
I remember last month you approved them, so I wanted to make sure that that's also in the minutes for this minute. I mean, that's in the minutes for this meeting.
You have to do it every single meeting, so
Yeah,
pretty
so
much the list that they provide you,
Approve what though?
the second notices.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, so the ones that are already
The
with
third
the planning
notice.
committee, yes, the
Third
already
notice.
are ready to go to the planning committee, that you guys approve them to go to the planning committee, which you guys have the list, correct?
So we didn't approve.
So do we have
that
a
to
motion
continue
now, or-
automatically?
Is it just
Is that a
motion?
policy? I don't think that's in our policy.
But do we need a motion that is automatically as soon as we get to the second letter?
That's what it is, so
That's
they,
what it is.
they need our express permission to move forward after the third one.
Yeah.
We move the time frame backwards to have them bring it forward to us, to ask us to move, whether to move forward on these items in letter 2, because with the timing and when the committee meets, when we meet, the timing was all
So,
moved out. So we're looking at violations are ready for number 2, and we're green lighting or not,
correct.
them to go forward all the way to
I do
compliance.
understand that part, but,
Do a blanket thing,
well, that's what, exactly.
That's what we're saying, that's what we did, yeah.
We've had conversations, I think, on a couple of occasions that
We did a motion for that.
the fining policy states that they can just move forward, right, with those third letters and have the fining hearing.
It's not,
It doesn't have to come to us for approval.
still gotta be
They
approved.
did a blanket, they did a blanket thing saying, just when you get to the second, you have to go to the third, just do it.
Okay, so we already approved that way.
That's what I thought we said.
That's what we did a motion.
Hold on, hold on.
We did a motion like that, that's what we need to figure out, because I know, I remember that motion, we had the same issue, the same conversation, and we approved that.
But you said that that wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
According to the policy, that's not necessary.
because we're only technically required to
You got
send
the
them
policy?
one notice anyway. Yeah, I got it up. We're only required by law to send them one. We've chosen to do 3. So we do a courtesy and then a warning and then comes your hearing, right? So.
Now,
At least,
my understanding of this policy, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, is that we designed it in a way that the compliance committee would run on autopilot. And the only time any compliance issues need to come to us is if the owner is appealing what the compliance committee is doing.
well, so yes and no. The process is set up so that it goes to compliance. Compliance gives you your thumbs up, thumbs down vote. And then that list should come to you, be like, yeah, start the fine.
So that's what we needed to do today.
Right, and is that the way?
With the
it's done?
12.
No, but that's not how it reads for statutes. It actually reads that the committee is supposed to, the board is supposed to approve it first, and then it goes to the committee. That's what it reads in the documents. And so.
But is there an unless a policy exists or something?
For 305A,
I think that's
that's
an
what we spoke
addition,
about in the fall.
Yeah.
it is an addition in your policy. So yes, Florida statute does state that the board should go ahead and approve. The committee only can say yes or no to define after the board's approval. My question to Chris is just your question too. Can you do a blanket statement going forward? However, in the past, I've seen that it's brought up to the board at the meeting, the ones that need to go to the next step, the board approves of it, the committee has their meeting, 2 weeks after, we have to send them a notification, 14 days prior, and then it gets done and move forward.
The intent was to set it up so that you didn't need to come back to them between notices.
Yeah.
So can we or can we not? I guess that's what they're asking, we're all asking honestly.
I mean, I think you can. I think you can just go ahead and process the notices, and the only time you really need to come back
Is if there's an appeal.
well, it goes to them for an approval, and then it comes back to the board for a.
So we should have ordered up the 12 that are going out then.
For the fines that
They
you
just
guys,
approved the
It's
12.
it's in the list right now though. You guys have it in the.
Right, but we didn't vote on it. Nobody said that we had to
So
do
you
that.
got 12 people that have gone to the compliance committee, and the compliance committee is like, no, you're still in violation.
Yeah,
Right? So now we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do with it from there.
No, well, we have to, we want to figure out if we're going to ratify that and also move forward the violations that are ready for fines, for the fine committee hearing for next month.
So there's a list here that he created. Is it on the back?
This is the list of the ones that were approved
At the meeting.
at the meeting.
So if that's the way Chris is stating, the ones that were approved at the meeting, we just need to get it, and that's it, because we have that in the packet already.
let's just prove that.
So the ones that the compliance committee just gave you the thumbs up on, the board can say, yep, let's start the fine, those are good to go.
Yeah.
And then your next batch, just roll them on through until they get to compliance again. And then we'll bring them back here, because they'll be at that final stage where it's ready to actually start.
Is that the process you all would like to go by?
I mean,
Right now, let's just approve those and keep moving.
No, but we have to talk tonight. We'll find out what they're gonna do moving forward.
I just want to make sure that we have a different understanding.
yeah, well, it's just that process.
This is the kind of contact we have with
Right,
it, is what I want. I know.
So you guys wanna do the approvals after the committee's done or before the committee's done? Because they're saying we have to do the approval.
We have to have the approval for the money to hit the ledger, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Where the approval happens, I was under last time we talked, I was under the impression that in order for it to go to the committee,
Yeah.
the board had to authorize that list to be presented to the compliance committee.
Not how it's stated.
And then that came back to us based on, based on their findings, and then we were again to talk about it and say, okay, the committee agreed these findings need to go forward,
Yeah.
and we're the ones that say, okay, execute what the committee has decided. So I was under the assumption
What a frustration.
that we would see this
Everybody
twice.
is in the same meeting and we all understand things differently. I don't get it.
Well, that's how it's written in the statute, is how he's saying it.
Yeah, because that's the statute, not
That's why we're talking
We'll
about this.
discuss.
So here's the exact language of the statute. Okay? So it says a fine or suspension levied by the Board of Administration, which is you guys, may not be imposed unless the board first provides the 14-day notice, which we have in our policy. Okay, and then the board member cannot, the compliance committee can't be associated with the board. So no officer, director, employee of the association, spouse, parent, child, brother, sister, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
In other words, it's gotta be neutral people.
Mhm.
Okay, the notice must include the description of the alleged violation, specific action to cure, and the date and location of the compliance committee hearing, and the fact that they have the right to attend either by telephone or other electronic means. If the committee, by majority vote, does not approve the proposed fine or suspension, the proposed fine or suspension may not be imposed. So if these guys give you a down vote, that's it. It's done.
Like they've done with 2 of them, right?
Right? The role of the committee is limited to determining whether to confirm or reject a fine or suspension levied by the board. You guys. After the hearing, the committee shall provide written notice to the parcel owner at his or her designated address or email address in the association official records, blah, 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 of the committee's finding related to the violation, including any act of compliance, suspension, fees, blah, blah, blah. If the proposed fine or suspension levied by the board is approved by the committee by a majority vote, the fine payment is due 5 days after notice of the approved fine required under blah, 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 blah. That's what it says.
Okay. So remove the last step that he was saying, but it still has to be approved by the board.
So what's your understanding of
Then
that?
you'll-
So is that what we're doing?
So the way I'm reading this is that the management company processes our notices, just like the statute requires us. goes to them for the up-down vote,
Mhm.
and then you guys say, all right, let's start the fine with, with the vote.
Okay.
As long as they say yes.
It has to be.
Yes,
Because
correct.
If they vote it down.
So the process is then,
It's your decision.
so we will approve after the fact then?
Yeah, because.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to make sure.
So
So I
we don't
guess
have to approve the ones that he's saying that we need to move forward.
The
No,
question-
So we need to approve the 12 that already
Yeah.
went.
The question at this point is, can we approve all 12 in one motion?
Slate motion.
Or do we need to
Slate
do each
motion,
one?
if somebody can make a slate motion to approve, the addresses as submitted on the report, that's why meeting minutes are great, because you can just say the meeting minutes and all the home addresses that are listed on the meeting minutes.
Yeah, so we usually just do a blanket motion to accept the findings of the compliance committee.
Correct.
Anyone want to do the motion?
but we did an amendment, remember, the 3 houses that we told you that they were good.
Yeah.
Those will be.
Those are already closed in the
Oh, they're
system.
closed.
Yeah, they're closed in the system already.
Okay.
So I have a question. So right now, for example, the meeting minutes of the ARC that are in our packet now have the 3 houses that I found that are not in compliance, that are in compliance.
Yeah.
So if we do a blanket thing according to the minutes of them, then that could be wrong, or are they gonna go back and amend the minutes on the next meeting?
No, you just, they accepted it, and you guys like, no, we went back and looked at it ourselves, it's fixed. So we are going to impose the fine on all of them except the 3.
Based on the.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys realize I was gonna make the motion? Right?
Make a motion.
So let's put the issue up first, right?
To accept with the exception of those 3 houses,
Mhm.
that would be the way I would put it.
Yep.
To accept the findings of the compliance committee with the exception of the 3 houses, and then give the addresses in the minutes, and then there you go. That should do it.
Make a motion to accept the findings of the November 28th committee meeting for the compliance committee as amended from their meeting notes.
Do
I'll
we have to
second
say the addresses or no?
They have it written down.
Yeah. 976-2819 VLR 12807 VLR.
That's the exceptions.
That's the exception.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we got a motion from Corey, second by Jason. All in favor, say aye. Aye. None opposed, right?
So
Motion
then
carries.
the next step is they should be getting another notice from us, going, hey, fines that being imposed, and I think it's fine. Right, okay, so that, yeah, all right, I think we're good.
So then, because he brought up 2 issues, this one and then the other vote for moving forward with the new one. So that one is canceled.
Yeah, you should need to
Okay.
vote on the second
That's
batch,
good.
the second batch hasn't made it to them yet.
Yeah.
But that's why he was saying that for us to vote so he can move to them.
I don't think.
No, you
So
did.
that's, we don't need it.
So now we know, right? Everything's on autopilot up until the findings is approved, then it comes to us.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep,
All right, great.
Right, good.
good.
Make sure we got through that. Good, thank you.
All righty, guys, and where are we now?
Now, we are updating reserve study. We don't have the draft yet.
Hold on a second, there's one more thing that I saw that's on here that's not on the agenda. You
Oh,
got the handyman, so I don't know if everybody's aware, but there was a car accident on the side of the Puerto del Sol that belongs to the HOA, and they took out a garbage can and a bench. So I asked, Do It to get a proposal. We have a proposal for $2,500 to replace that, but I think we've talked about this in the past with the rest of the board in the previous meetings, that we were probably gonna put this on hold until after the special assessment issue's taken care of, okay? I just want to bring that up.
Just make sure that the bench is Dodge Charger proof, please.
That's what?
Just make sure the bench is Dodge Charger proof.
It's like reinforced steel.
okay.
Whoever
So
did
reserve
that hauled
study.
it.
So I actually, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll get back up. Never mind. It's fine. All right, so we're moving on now to the reserve study.
So they still working on the draft?
Yes, we're still working on the draft to remove.
I thought did we submit
No.
the corrections to the draft?
No, you're waiting on me to submit the information to us. That was on the last meeting.
We told them everything that it had to be taken off the
You were
lights.
supposed to review it and then get back to us with the
Right.
updates that you
The
want.
light. It was only those issues, the light. Yeah, it
Oh, there's a
was,
couple. It was just 2?
yeah, it was just a light, the CDD stuff.
The sewer,
Yeah,
the sidewalks,
So can you just work that out, like, whatever the CD, whatever belongs to the CD, don't put it on there?
This is.
That's everything else is CDD.
Yeah, I still the land that last month,
Mm-hmm.
just the road.
It's just a road.
Well, we have a question on the gutters.
Yeah.
The sidewalks, the sidewalks are ours too.
Free and underground, but it's gutter.
Oh, the sidewalks belong to the CD? No, they don't.
Because
No, no.
And how do we verify that the CDD owns the lights then?
The CDD on what?
The CDD owns the lights and stuff for them,
You get the bill for it.
just because they paid.
Yeah, who gets the bill? The HOA or the CDD?
That's a surefire way to know. Anyway, just review it and then we send the email, so they have the email.
That'd be interesting though, because if the CUD is paying for rented lights that are not, it's not on their property.
Yeah. But we have a little bit of.
You know what, though? That might be a can of worms you don't want to open.
No, because, I know everybody laughed at me just now, but, some places where there's no CDD, they put the lights up and it goes on the bill of the people that live there, the people in your taxes, you pay all for that in your taxes. So how do we know they're not paying it in their taxes?
Correct.
It shouldn't, it goes to whoever the light, so like in my neighborhood, all of our lights are freaking rented. Right?
Yeah, this one they're renting.
Freaking rented, which means every single month, we're getting a bill.
Yeah, all rented.
Even if they turn them
Except
off,
for
we
the
didn't use
solar
the electricity, we're still paying for it.
Correct. This
But
one.
you know, it's good, it's good though, because when those things break, you don't have to pay for them, they fix it.
That's true.
Yep.
But you're paying for them in perpetuity.
Yeah, $17 per light.
Not necessarily, because whenever, like, they said, whenever they start looking bad, you can just call them, they'll come and replace it. So technically, you're paying again for the new one, so that's why it's perpetuity, because you need it forever. But you keep changing it.
Okay, so we do that. So we're gonna send the email.
When you get a chance,
So we
You
send.
always got a new one.
I need to get maybe a day, and me and you can get together for an hour. Okay, we can hammer out all these little things that we gotta take care of.
Okay, cool.
So you let me know, I'm off on Thursdays, I either like doing things really early or really late, because in the middle of the day, I like doing things that I like to do.
What's the earliest thing you rather? Thursday next week, I'm looking to do that, at what time?
Thursday next week, what do I got Thursday next week? I got something Thursday next week.
They just.
You wanna do it next week?
Yeah.
You should be at the club on Saturday at about 8 a.m.
6, definitely 6.
I'll meet you guys 7:30, I'm good for 7:30. You get up that early? You guys got, you got like 5 kids, man?
Hey, man, listen, I
You
got.
can't get them out at 5 o'clock in the morning, come on. Just get with me on the time, whatever's convenient for you, I'll be flexible.
11? How's that? That's my
That's
go-to.
not really.
Come on.
Make it
That's-
9:30. 9:30.
Let's make it 12 when we have lunch, how's that?
What's the night out, you see? 11 o'clock is
All right,
All right, cool. Let's do this.
but call me the day before and remind me.
Yeah.
Send them an invite, first of all.
We'll send you an invite.
Yeah, put it on the calendar.
Now I want everything 7 days in advance.
Okay, so special session, we already talked everything we need to talk about special session, right? Nobody wants to talk about that. All right, we'll move on to the new business then, appointment of directors. Anybody want to discuss this?
I'm gonna say let's move it to January, where we can have a complete board and thoroughly discuss it.
That's a good idea. Anybody?
Yeah, Jose's not here,
Jose
yeah.
traveling.
All right, so we'll table it to the January meeting.
Yeah, let's table it.
Everybody good with that?
So is that supposed to be appointment of officers?
Yes.
Yeah.
officers.
Okay. Because it makes a difference. You don't get
Yeah.
to appoint directors unless there's no. chair.
Officers, yeah.
Directors,
So change it to officers for the next,
supervisors, people, things, stuff.
then now we're getting to the most controversial topic, towing. Excuse me.
I thought this is CBD. That's where Menorca is, no.
So, did we vote on the towing policy last time, or?
We had talked about it, but you guys asked me to make a change, which
Yeah.
I did.
What was it?
So from the last parking policy that I turned in, we added this paragraph 6 on here, which references the CDD.
Yep.
parking restrictions so that it basically mirrors the, how people are allowed to park on our little cul-de-sac area mirrors what they can do in the rest of the area.
Yep. So pretty much the policy that we gotta adopt is gonna mirror the CDD rules.
Yeah, so I kept the top part of it because those things are specific to our documents, but the actual don't block driveways and that kind of stuff, like all of those rules that the CDD has, it's all in section 3 of their policy. So I basically just incorporated all that by reference.
Okay.
So if the CDD changes their rules,
And numbers?
we don't have to change our policy, right? Because it just references it. It doesn't quote it.
But if they change section 3, then
Well, I mean, if we number the paragraphs, then yeah, we have to do,
And that section 3 obviously is fire hydrants and all that?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Corey sent me the thing, so I was actually able to look at it. But anyway, if you guys are good with I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, but it's just basic generic language. If you're good with it, then you can just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, look, it looks good.
Yep.
It looks good.
anybody else?
Nope.
Anybody want to make a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the amendments to the towing policy from Menorca and Sangria as presented.
I second the motion.
Or the second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, passes unanimously.
So you have that in your email, right? You just print a copy and sign it and send it to Artemis. Sorry, I should have printed one out and brought it with me.
And, which is the other one that we amended earlier in the meeting?
It was the collection policy.
Yeah, the collection policy that
We
you,
voted on that.
yeah, and you need to sign that too, yeah. Then the Orlando,
Okay, now what about the contract with Orlando, the agreement? Is this blessed by legal?
Either way, because the CDE is looking for another company.
I think when we get, if the CDD changes, then the HOA should change as well.
So in our policy though, in the policy we just approved, it says that, right? That we're gonna have the same vendor as the CDD or no?
No, it does not. It gives you the flexibility to pick whichever vendor you want.
Yeah.
So if the CDD changes their vendor, we would need to match. And then the other thing would be is we just need to make sure that we have the ability to cancel the contract without a huge lead time. Because if the CDD decides to change their vendor,
Yeah, at least, well, in here, it's supposed to, you can cancel anytime,
30 days,
it's
right?
supposed to, because towing, you are not paying to
Right,
anything.
that was one of the changes that I made sure was in there last time.
And we made the other indemnity change as
The
well.
indemnity clause was the
Yeah.
other piece that we had highlighted
Okay.
as an issue. And I don't know if that's a deal breaker for you guys or not, but it just seemed like it was a little one-sided on the indemnity clause.
Yeah, that was putting all
Which indemnity clause?
They're asking us to indemnify them against all this potential damages.
Oh, no,
But if they come in here and they start running over things and we get sued because of it, they're not indemnifying us.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, if we're gonna start talking about indemnity, it needs to be mutual.
so anyway, so is on the contract?
I haven't seen the latest version, but the one that I got, that was the section that we highlighted.
Yeah. and he was not trying to-
I think, in all fairness, I think that we should consider a few different things if we're allowed to do it legally with regards to this, because, I think one of the things a lot of people complain about is they're not getting warnings. And I don't know, maybe that's something we would like to entertain on this contract.
Well, I think,
Because they asked us if they want us to give stickers, if they,
our policy says owners get a warning,
one warning.
one warning, within a 30-day period.
Okay, so how does that translate into the contract? Does it matter, or we just give them the policy along with the contract?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do we need to vote to approve this contract, or?
If you guys are good with it, yeah. I mean, like I said, the only two pieces that jumped out at me were the indemnity clause.
And where is that one?
30-day out clause.
Did he remove it? Did he remove it?
I haven't seen the latest version.
I don't
But
see it.
if it's not there, then he must have.
Do you remember what number it is on yours? So I can cross-reference?
Oh, let's see.
I don't see anything about cancellation at all.
Was it 10?
I think it was number 10.
I see a 30-day written notice by certified mail.
Is that the new one?
No, I mean,
Well,
it's the same
they're
one.
citing on this that this is a Florida statute though.
Yeah,
They're saying it's 71507.
Yeah, but the statute doesn't indemnify, that doesn't have indemnity language. They're just talking about the procedure that they're required to follow in order to tow.
Yeah, but it says that if they don't follow that procedure, then it doesn't
Well,
exist.
there could be a whole nother list of reasons why they get sued.
Number 10.
So why then, so we can table this and legal can create a contract.
Can you talk to them about it and create a
Create
contract?
create a contract.
they're not trying, they don't want to change the contract because they're saying that they're abiding by what the CDB's already doing. So they don't want to change it at all.
Yeah, because
So
I
this is
think,
the same contract the CDD has.
Yeah, exactly.
but they signed, yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, that part is definitely.
So what is it, give me a scenario that you're concerned about, because I'm not sure I'm following.
all right, so let's say they come in and they follow the statute for towing the vehicle, but on the way out, they run over some guy's lawn and take out a mailbox. Yeah, technically you complied with the statute, but you caused damage in the process on your way out. If all we're required to do is indemnify them just from the fact that they, did the towing piece properly, whatever, but.
Yeah, I'm not okay with this at all.
That's not what this language is saying. This language is saying all loss and damage and expense from removal of the vehicle. So if this guy goes gallivanting through some dude's yard and they sue us because it's our vendor, they're saying they're not gonna indemnify us for that? That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Can you contact the manager of the CDD and see if you can get a copy of the,
When they have for that.
because maybe I think they did a contract.
Well,
And the lawyer did a contract and they had to sign that contract, so.
Whatever
Or go to
contract.
the CDD website and just
Yeah.
get the contract that they
Yeah.
signed, because I'm pretty sure that CDD doesn't play that game.
Yeah.
They usually want indemnification of everything,
Yeah.
including with us, with the HOA, everything we want to do, they want to be
Yeah.
indemnified on whatever we do.
Give me a second, I'll pull it right now.
Yeah, but you had to find an agendas, I think, on all that, so.
No, they should actually have a copy of the contract up here.
No, you need to request it.
I have
You have to
a-
be on the agendas. You need to look at the agendas. Okay.
Do it. We have a bunch of Christmas decorations that were donated to the HOA from one of the homeowners. And I wanted to know if you could reach out to the CDD and maybe get permission for the HOA to put them out.
Okay.
Then they sign a liability. Oh, the HOA is gonna send something there or no? To the CDD? Already, like a form or, like nothing.
In the interest of,
Where do you want to have them placed so I can?
Keep getting
No, the place is in the front,
Where do you want to put them?
where there's no decorations in the front.
There's
The mural is by the street.
in the interest of like moving everything
that's
forward,
where
we
just
want to
contact.
table the towing contract until we can figure out exactly.
Yeah, I'm with that, and I also think we should find other companies that, maybe Artemis has worked with in the past. Maybe we can get their contracts and see what it looks like.
Yep.
Yeah, well, remember, your choices are limited because they have to be within a certain distance of the neighborhood.
Yeah, 10 miles.
So, Chris, I have something to ask you. The issue with towing companies is that by nature, these companies tend to be predatory companies, right?
They can be.
They are, that's the nature of their business.
Yeah.
Especially those that work with HOAs, if your car it's broken, and you call a towing company, that's a different business, right?
Yeah.
But this business is about towing cars, so that's how they make money.
They gotta balance that interest though, because if we get enough pissed off residents coming down here and saying that the tow company is, victimizing them, we're gonna get rid of them. right? So I mean, yes, they only make money if they tow cars, like, I get that. right?
So besides towing, I know I've seen this in New York, there's no booting companies.
There's boot, to do it, I don't know, I mean, the tow company might be able to boot too.
No, they don't do it. Orlando doesn't do it.
They're not interested in that. What, you were gonna finish your thought though, Marcel?
Yeah, thank you. I think that we need to find a way to make them accountable. We had a few issues, not too many. Most of the towing was correct, even though it was done in a very unfriendly way, but they towed the right cars,
Yeah.
most of the time. But we had some issues where they towed cars that they shouldn't have. Yes, they returned the money. Yes, they brought the cars back. But I think that we should try to make sure that we make them pay some kind of fine when we do that, just like we pay.
I don't think that's.
Well, I think that we should at least be open to
Can
explore
we?
the idea,
I mean,
right? Because,
yeah, I mean, look, it's a contract, I mean, you can write the contract with
Right.
the terms.
If they accept it, that's something, but, yeah.
because that's gonna be, in a way, kind of a deterrent.
But look, if they're refunding the money, they're already taking a financial hit, right? Because they still have to pay the guy to come out and do the tow, and then if they refund the whole fee, I mean, they are taking a little bit of a financial whack there.
But
Your
there was-
real leverage, though, is to say, if I keep getting complaints.
Yeah, we're done doing business with you, yeah.
Yeah, but then it's already done. And I think that what we want, because I don't want us to end up having 5 different towing companies in the lapse of 12 months, because we get rid of them because they're all bad. So I want.
I don't think we ever could, because I don't think there's 5 within 10 miles of us.
No,
I'm sorry, yeah, that was, yeah,
Okay, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Because that means that we need to stick with this one.
correct.
yeah, there's not a lot
Even
of
though
options.
they're bad. Can we find a way to put some guardrails in the contract, so they are aware that if they're towing something that they know they shouldn't, but they want to do it anyways, because they want to make money, and most of the time, owners don't complain, they pay because they want their car back,
Yeah.
right? But if you have that, maybe they come and they tow the cars that they should, and if there's no car to tow, they go away, because what happens is they come. They get a call, they come, but the car's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So they go around and try to find something, because they made a trip, and they want to make the money for the trip. So they go around and they drive until they find something. And that's when they speed, and that's when they go backwards
So-
and can cause damage,
Yeah.
and that's when they tow cars that they shouldn't from private property.
Correct.
How do
So,
you-
but that's only gonna happen, yeah, if the rule get messed up, because I know which one you're talking about,
But if we have some kind of
but I know what you're saying.
amendment in the contract, that if they do that, they have to pay a fine, I guarantee you that they're gonna think twice because.
Correct,
because they do
but-
something like that.
You gotta make them sign the contract, because they're gonna say no, so then, I'm just.
We can try, we can.
No, correct, that's good, to try, yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna say it now, but.
Maybe, they will
at
sign
least
it.
we should try.
It's an option that we can
Yeah.
explore.
You just need to think about what that process would look like. though,
Yeah.
Right, so what's the review process to determine whether or not a tow, in any particular instance, of someone being towed was appropriate?
Well,
or not?
most people have cameras.
And who gets to make that?
And they have
decision?
to take pictures as well,
and
because they take pictures of
and They
everything.
go out and they find these guys, and this guy parked in that, because I'm gonna take your car because I can, and here's the contract, and they start taking their cell phones.
But
So that would
did
be-
you envision, like, we as a board would be able to tell them to have to pay something? I mean, how
If
did
it's in
you?
the contract,
He's trying to say that we should put that in the contract.
And see if they sign it. If they don't sign it,
I mean, I understand the general concept, but I'm trying to get specific, like what, you think of like $100, $150, we just come to a board meeting and vote on that and say, you guys screwed up, you need to pay them? As like an arbitration deal, I mean,
but the same as a towing.
I'm not you, because I don't know how that would work. But,
well, like I said, it's a contract, I mean, you can write it however you want, if the other guy's willing to sign it, there you go, but we would need to figure out what that process is gonna look like and then make that proposal to see if they accept it.
well, as we table the contract, can we also think about this? So next time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can think about that.
Yeah.
Can we also find out if there's a boot service? So I think a boot service would end a lot of the madness that's happening right now. because people get pissed off because the car gets taken.
You mean instead of towing it, just boot it?
Yeah, put it, they have to pay.
And then there's somebody that can come back within a reasonable amount of time and unboot it so that the car doesn't go anywhere.
So I've never had my car booted. Is it like a combo lock that they give you over the
No,
phone so that when you take
no, it's
it?
a padlock. They have to come back.
They got a special key that goes into it, and screws it off the tire.
I've only seen, here in Florida, I've only seen municipalities do it. I haven't seen it done privately, but that's what I'm asking.
But that will be good
Because
because,
that, you know, the guy would probably still be here driving around by the time the owner realizes he got a boot, maybe he can call, and the guy can just come back and boot it, cost him a fee, but the car doesn't get moved. There's no chance of damage by moving the car out. The owner's not pissed off because his car's still there. So, I mean, it's a win-win in a lot of ways if we can get that type of service. I don't know if it's legal, I don't know if it exists.
I'd have to look to see if the statute even covers
Yeah.
booting. It may not.
just verify.
We
For
could
the
just,
next
I know the
meeting.
statute covers towing, obviously, because there's a whole litany of rules about when you're allowed to do a drop fee, pay cash, you have to use this certain distance, you have signs
But
up.
I mean,
I don't know about boots, I'd have to look.
I'll tell you, the towing services is like a really bad deal across the board because these guys, I mean, they get away with murder. I mean, number one is you gotta pay cash if you want it on the spot.
That's by statute too.
And
by
exactly,
That's like statute, and people think that that's their towing,
And
you know,
exactly.
doing it.
That's by statute, it has to be cash.
That's what I'm saying, and it just seems wrong, but I think there was some heavy lobbying for that law to come about, but.
Probably about a tow.
And then, you know, the associations, you know, want to balance the towing with
Yeah.
not pissing people off, but the reality is that the way the law is written, it's gonna piss people off no matter how you tow it.
Yeah, well, I've never heard somebody being happy after the car gets towed, or even hooked up and gotten dropped at half the price. They're still pissed off about it, which,
Yeah.
listen, I get, it's not, but you aren't.
And I see the side of the towing company too. They don't want to have that liability because they have different drivers coming in. Not all of them are gonna know the rules.
Yeah.
This is how I think the situation that you said where the cars got taken off people's driveway erroneously is because some other guy came that was working in another community where they do that and he did it here. And it wasn't supposed to be done.
Okay.
So it's interesting. But
So we're gonna stick a pin in this then until next meeting?
Correct.
Yeah.
Motion, is anybody making a motion for that?
For?
Motion to table.
Motion to table the towing contract until the next meeting, January 30th.
Second.
I second. Do we did one for the officers?
no, we didn't.
We didn't.
Well, I motion to table the decision on the officers until January 30th as well.
I will
Yeah.
You guys had the same table that discussion already.
We didn't vote on it.
No.
We don't have to vote on tables, do we?
That's what it said.
You do a motion to table whatever's on,
Yeah.
on the.
But that's because he already started the motion. But do we normally motion
No,
all
no.
table?
Because if it's on, if an item is on the agenda, you gotta do what you gotta do on the agenda.
Yeah.
Right, so if you get to something that you're not ready to discuss, you're running over, or whatever, you just do a motion table to the next meeting.
Yes.
And then we gotta go back and motion to table that as
Yeah,
well.
so the officer, you did, I second the motion.
So you gotta
Both of them already passed. The one, this is the second one, the officers.
So
We did
the
the
new
motion.
business, both things are taken.
Yeah.
And the
Yes,
motion
yes,
was.
Yeah, the motion for the towing already
Yeah,
went through.
we voted yes on the adopting the amendment and no to the towing contract as of right now. Well, table the contract for right now.
So we did it, so we are on the officers. We did this, I second it.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Move that to the next agenda.
Ne'er-do-wells.
All right. Anything else the board wants to discuss? It's not on the agenda?
The meeting is the 5th, right? 25th January. That's it. Yeah,
I really want to
25th.
speak about the dates with you guys, I want to make sure that we confirm that we have the fourth Tuesday of the month for our board meetings for next year. I have another obligation for the third Thursday, of each month. And so I wanted to make sure that, there was any scheduling conflicts with that.
We've already done that a couple of meetings, right?
That was last month.
Last meeting? Yeah.
So I just wanted.
So it's the last Thursday, right?
Yeah, last Thursday of the month.
Four different dates that were changed due to holiday situations.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, correct.
Yeah, so we're skipping the December meeting this
Yeah,
year.
correct.
So our next meeting will be January 30th.
No, 25th.
25th.
I'm sorry, 25th. I'm looking at the wrong month.
Oh, you're looking at December.
And then would be February 29th. And then March 28th.
No, we moved the March one.
Oh, yeah.
March to the 21st.
Yeah.
Because of Easter.
April 25th. May
March 21st.
30th. See, yeah, March 21st.
It's a Thursday, right?
Right, he has meetings with a different association the third Thursday of every single month. So yours was scheduled for the 4th, he has them on the 3rd.
Yeah, and some months might be the 5th.
Because we are in the
The
last.
fifth is not an issue, it's the third ones that are.
So.
But that is the third
That
Thursday.
one's gonna be the
That's
third.
why it costs you.
So we can't do it that day.
Yeah, that would have to be rescheduled.
So what day do you have in March?
We got the 28th, or I could do the 14th.
Why was it from the 28th? I don't remember.
It's Easter. When is Easter anyway?
The 30th or 31st of March.
So we do it 14?
That's when we do it on the 28th, I mean, that's right before it. I mean, but it's
No, they were
Thursday.
not.
I consider Easter to be a holiday.
Yeah.
So we're making the same.
We do the events, okay. All right, great.
What day we're doing?
So we, I don't know, I'm saying
I leave it
14.
up to you guys. I can be here any of these days.
We can do 14.
The 14th is fine.
Yeah, but it's gonna be only 2 weeks from the previous.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
If we don't need it, we can jump it. We can schedule it. If we don't need the meeting,
Just
we can
jump it
just
then.
jump it.
Let's
Yeah.
not have a meeting in March.
You just keep the 21st, it's fine.
Okay.
All right, so that's 21st, I'll try to reschedule. Get that one going.
We have April 25th.
well, the thing is on the March meeting, we could just do something completely radical and have it on like a Wednesday if we had, or a Tuesday if we needed to.
I think the closer we get to, we can decide. what
Correct. If we did, yeah.
If you guys decide to change.
Yeah, I'll just run it by you all.
Yeah.
Every meeting.
So for now, we're leaving it at the 21st.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we good.
April 25th is the 4th. May is gonna be the 23rd. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. June 27th.
No, you said May is gonna be the 30th.
May 23rd.
No. 30th.
Yeah, it'll be the 30th, because there's 5, there's more Thursdays. It's the last Thursday of the month.
We said 4th. This is what we just told me last month.
Right,
So
but that's-
May 3rd.
That was going back and forth, but I think last meeting, everybody decided it'll be the last Thursday.
But we gotta remember Memorial Day weekend is in there.
Last Thursday.
When's Memorial Day?
June 28th.
Memorial is the 27th.
Memorial Day.
Right, Memorial is on the Monday.
Okay, so June 27th.
Yeah.
Then we have July 25th.
Yeah.
Depending on
1, 2,
March,
3,
I
4.
might not be able to get.
Then we have August 22nd.
29.
29.
29th.
27.
Okay, then we have September 26th.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have October 21st, 24th, excuse me.
24, correct.
21st.
No, because the 31st is Halloween.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
24th.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have November 21st. So I have a question.
Isn't that Thanksgiving?
No,
No,
28th.
it's the following week. So,
We're supposed to have it on the 28th, but
yeah.
we move it to the 24th.
Oh, I see.
2, 3, so that's the one that you have to see and switch.
Okay.
Okay. And then December 19th, if you guys have a December one.
Correct.
However, okay. That's fine. All
So no board discussion, right?
Well, open forum, anybody in the audience? Any members want to talk about anything? No? Okay. So let's adjourn the meeting. It is 9:12 PM. Motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.